hospital hack attacks, an ongoing threat. MedStar's Union Memorial Hospital in Baltimore, the latest to be targeted. Hackers locking doctors, nurses, and staff out of all computer terminals, asking for 45 bitcoins, or about $18,000, to release the lock. This comes just weeks after similar ones at other medical institutions in both California and Kentucky. My next guest, no stranger to the dangers of trying to keep medical records safe. Centene Chairman and CEO Michael Neidorff joins me right now in the studio. Michael, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks so much for joining us. Got to talk about hacking, but we also have to talk about a big deal that you are just closing right now. But first, let's talk about keeping data safe. This has to be one of the biggest concerns or priorities for you right now.
I would say that our board and myself spend more time and energy on that as one single item. In fact, I approved yesterday about $30 million in additional expenditures just to continually update what you do. And it's enough. You encrypt the equipment, you encrypt the software, so when it's at rest, it's encrypted. When it's traveling, it's encrypted.
Who are the perpetrators?
Oh, they come from all walks of life. And the tough part is you're never sure who they are and what their motives are.
Yeah, because we've talked to Russia and China in terms of wanting the data.
Well, medical data and medical information is worth more than some just the normal checking account type things, because they can file false claims and do a lot of things with it.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay? There's a lot of fraud.
That's dangerous.
How much more money, just in terms of your spend on this type of security, how much more money are you spending just year over year in terms of increases, and even down the road, what kind of planning you're doing?
Oh, I think we probably look at $40, $50 million incremental in any given period of time. As I said yesterday, it was an additional 30. We have outside consultants. We have technology committees of the board. We have incredible people inside. We have someone who's joining us now to head up a lot of that aspect that came out of the military and was responsible for protecting a lot of military data. I mean, the top secret, the codes for the missiles. And so you want that kind of expertise. You go outside your own industry just to do everything you can to protect it.
Obamacare obviously has created a lot of debate. I want to ask you in terms of the impact on Centene and the industry overall, because we talk a lot about the cost of Obamacare. I mean, you look at some other firms, Blue Cross Blue Shield says the cost to care for individual policyholders has been 20% higher than patients in employee-based groups. Characterize the cost for us.
Our cost, we've maintained a very low cost, in fact, on this guarantees and the reserves, what they call the 3 Rs. We were a net payer in every state in which we operated. We're in 15 states this year with the Health Net Group. It's a function of we stayed at the low end. We work with what we call the churn. It's a word we had coined. That it's really a function of people that were on Medicaid that lose eligibility, jump into this plan. We've moved up to 500,000 lives this year, and it's working very well. It's a matter of having your strategy and sticking with it. There are flaws in the design of the program that hopefully after the election will get fixed, and it will be a decent program.
All right, we want to move on to the deal you're just completing. California regulators approving the $6.3 billion Health Net merger with Centene. Wow, this is a new era for Centene.
It was very transitional for us. It moved us to the largest Medicaid provider in the country by number of enrollees. It gave us a strong position in California. It gave us critical mass, where we really now are recognized for being a $40 billion company. We are very profitable, within the 2 to 3% pre-tax. In our business, you don't look for super high, maybe 3 to 4% pre-tax profits. But it really gave us a position. It put us in Medicare now at the low end, which we're interested in government services, VA. It's something we're very interested in helping. It needs a lot of help, and we have capabilities to do it. So it was a very important transitional move.
Michael, do you see more consolidation in this part of the industry?
I think with some limitations. I had said 3-4 years ago there would be 4 players and we'd be one of them. And a lot of the sell-side analysts recognize that. But there are limits to how far you go. I think what's going to be difficult are the smaller players. We talked about what we spend on IT security, but we spend on new IT systems. We have a new system that looks at big data. It can look at 1 million files in 5 minutes. So I think the consolidation is going to come at the lower end, where they don't have the resources to do that kind of development.
Because in that situation, you need that scale.
Right.
You need the scale to get larger.
You reach a point that if you don't get critical mass, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. Do you see any substantial changes after the election? I mean, a lot of the candidates are talking about rolling back Obamacare.
I think after the election, people can sit down and get serious about what needs to be done. as opposed to talk about. I don't know that we're going to roll it back. I mean, there's a certain amount of political talk. The reality is we are covering people. We have to build the right incentives to bring the young people in. There's a lot of things we can do to make it very strong.
Yeah.
And make it work.
And then apparently
single player is not the answer.
And you've got the goods to prove it with now being the #1 player in Medicaid. Good to see you, Michael. Congratulations.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon. Michael Neidorff joining us there, CEO at Centene.